You are good.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Gibson Park here in Thirroul. It's the round 13 clash of the Illawarra Hardware Man League between the Thirroul Butchers and the Corrimal Cougars. This is Johnny Pett calling this game for Bar TV Sports. As we see the visiting side take the field, the Corrimal Cougars led out by their skipper Jared Smith. Shortly we'll see the Thirroul Butchers, the equal competition leaders, take to the field in a much anticipated clash, the local derby between the Cougars and the Butchers. A big day here at Gibson Park. It's Thirroul Old Boys Day, and we witnessed earlier on, which I'm sure we were able to view through Bar TV Sports, through YouTube, there was a clash between the Thirroul Old Boys and the Corrimal Old Boys earlier on. Some classic moments there that I'm sure will be viewed time and time over again. As we see the Butchers led out by their skipper, their number 9, Joel Johnson. The reserve grade boys clapping out the first grade as they approach the field. Very interesting bench here for today, the Thirroul Butchers. A young bench in that Ethan George, Mitch Lackestein, Ben Fulton and Connor Mulheason, all under the age of 19 years of age. 3 17-year-olds Jared Costello has selected in this side today. Aaron Shop in the centres, Connor Mulheason and also Benny Fulton. So Thirroul looking to use their youth today. The Corrimal Cougars, it's been a tough season in 2018 for them. The competition cellar dwellers, they'll be looking to bounce back in this local clash and put a victory over the Thirroul Butchers. As we see Horvath getting us underway in these windy conditions here at Gibson Park. Steaming from the back fence is Luke Shields. He will take the first carry of the match. He's brought that up just over his 25-metre line. Johnson in at acting half. They're playing down the short side here, going through Gallagher.
Hold, go good.
Again, hit Perkins on the short. Perkins been one of the form centres of the 2018 Illawarra Hardware Man League. So dangerous in attack and also solid in defence. There's Ruskin, the evergreen Joel Ruskin, one of the veterans of the Thirroul Butchers team. Over the halfway line into Cougars territory. Whitty, strong carry on the last. Johnson in at acting half. Out the back to Walsh. Walsh will put it high to test Smith early in these windy conditions. But as usual, Jared Smith, safe as a bank that they're back for the Cougars. Takes a nice catch.
Go. Play on the mark. 1.
And the Cougars, they'll just try and bring it out of their own area. There's Taka Cabal, one of the Fijians for the Cougars. Here's another one of the Fijians for the season, Takalau. So a little bit one out here early for the Cougars in their first attacking set for the day. There's Higgins onto the boot. He's got a potent kicking game. Has Blake Higgins. Ty McCarthy, he's taken that ball cleanly in front of the Old Boys bar. Over on the eastern side of Gibson Park, young Aaron Shop in at acting half. Lee Higgins, there's his first carry for today. Johnson still going to the open side to Walsh. Walsh onto Gallagher. Gallagher carrying that ball in one arm, trying to fend off the Cougars' defence with the other. Again, they'll attack the short through Johnson. Walsh steps off the right, looking for a gap. Shrugs off the first defender to Whitty. Whitty onto Ruskin. And there's the first penalty of the day awarded to the Thirroul Butchers. So a lazy arm there from Doherty. Just clipping Joel Ruskin above the shoulders. So we'll see Thirroul with an attacking raid here inside Corrimal Cougars territory. 35 metres out, Johnson to the open to Walsh. Walsh dummies to Ruskin. Finds Payne. Payne's got Higgins out the back, but he'll opt to go to Dodge short. Dodge trying to get that arm free and flick that on. He'll be wrapped up 10 metres in from the sideline, 10 metres from the try line. Johnson to Shields. Wouldn't the Moose love a try? He's trying to burrow over the line. Looks like he's short or held up. The call is held up. So Shields will bring that back 10 metres back and play the ball.
Out 10. Out 10, all the way out 10.
So good early movement with the ball from the Thirroul Butchers. The Corrimal Cougars defence up for the task.
Go. 3.
Johnson acting half. Dummies the first. Finds Walsh. Brings Perkins underneath him. Perkins onto Higgins. Higgins looking for space. Flicks it on to Shop. Shop over to Ty McCarthy. And first try of the day goes to Ty McCarthy, wearing the number 22 on his back. So a great start for the Thirroul Butchers. 3 minutes into the first half of this local derby. One of the veterans of the Thirroul Butchers, Ty McCarthy, gifted a try there by one of the youngest members on the team, Aaron Shop. And the Cougars huddled up in their in-goal line, making the task even harder for them today. An early try to the Thirroul Butchers. As we'll see, Luke Gallagher try to attempt the extras. He had a great game last weekend against Collegians, Luke Gallagher. His kicking game spot on for most of the game in that 22-all draw that we witnessed down at Collegian Sporting Complex. The Cougars, they're coming off a bye last week as the Cougars season slowly coming to an end. A tough season for them in 2018. The Butchers equal first on the competition ladder. They'll be hoping to win their last 2 games here against Corrimal and next week against Helensburgh to cement that top 2 spot. As we see Gallagher's attempt just fallen short. So a big effort there from Luke Gallagher. The wind, it's been blowing for the last 24 hours here in Thirroul. It's going to make the job even tougher for both the number ones, or the back 3 for that matter, for both sides in these extremely windy conditions. As we'll see Horvath to get us back underway. The score remains 4 points to 0, 5 minutes gone in this first half. So we're off again, and Horvath a lot deeper with this kick to McCarthy, and after that try from Ty McCarthy, he's just come up with an error there. Could only just get the fingertips to the ball, and it's gone over the sideline. And it's one of those coach killers we see week in, week out in any competition of rugby league. Mistakes after scoring points. So the Cougars with a big chance here to hit back on the scoreboard. They'll get to feed the scrum 10 metres out from the Thirroul try line. With Higgins will feed the scrum. Smith, he'll take the first carry. And he'll be put on his back by Ruskin and also Whitty. Power in at acting half. Power dummies to the right. Goes to the left. Looking for space behind the defensive line. Gets underneath the arm of Shields. Flicks it out the back. Horvath with the ball. A little bit of razzle-dazzle football from the Cougars. Billy White spins out of one tackle. He'll be wrapped down. Centre of the paddock. 5 metres out from the try line. Power to the open. Higgins dummies. Goes himself. He's brought to the ground.
Wait here. Hold. Go straight.
Mateer. A long ball to Horvath, but it's gone backwards and over the head of Horvath. So Horvath's found Smith. The Thirroul defence coming up both sides of the ruck, shutting down Jared Smith. Push back to the 20-metre line. Tonga with his first carry of the day. And a penalty to the Cougars.
2 in there and you're all over the ball.
A strip there from the Thirroul player, forcing the ball out. So the Cougars, they'll get another 6 tackles 10 metres out from the Thirroul Butchers try line.
All right, off you go.
Higgins to White. White's upended and put on his back from Ruskin and Whitty. Power in at acting half. He'll go to the left. Higgins. Mateer. Mateer's wrapped up by Gallagher. 7 metres out. Corrimal back to the open. White steps off his right, trying to barge his way through the defensive line. He'll be brought down by the opposite front rower in Ruskin. Corrimal back to the left. On to Billy Robb. Billy Robb trying to get past Walsh, but he's brought down. Dummy to the short power. Go to the open through Higgins. Higgins out the back to Doherty. Doherty trying to split the defence, but he's bumped away there from Dodge. Smith at acting half to Higgins. Long ball to Garrido. And Garrido trying to muscle his way over the line, but the Thirroul defence pushes Garrido over the sideline. So a big defensive effort there from the Thirroul Butchers on the last tackle, forcing Garrido over the sideline. So the Butchers, they will play the ball 10 metres out, 10 metres in from their try line. As we see Higgins with the first carry of the set.
Yes, you're good. Right.
So a fast-paced game here to start off this local derby. Aaron Chop with the ball.
Come on, hit me.
Johnson, he'll continue to go to the right. Walsh dummies, finds Perkins. Perkins has got open space. He's got Simpson outside him. Simpson flirting with the sideline. He'll come back infield. He'll be brought down on the 50-metre line. Johnson in an acting half. Open to Walsh. Walsh to Ruskin. So Thirroul, they'll bring it back into the middle of the field. 45 metres out from the Cougars try line. Ruskin slow to go up and play the ball. Johnson to the left. Payne. Payne out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Shop. Shop to McCarthy. McCarthy puts it on the boot. Infield. And Jared Smith takes that catch cleanly. So a nice little attacking raid there from the Thirroul Butchers on that left-hand side. But the kick from McCarthy, finding Jared Smith. The Cougars will bring it out of their own area, over the 30-metre line. Now there's Tonga Tonga with those bright orange boots. We won't miss him today. One of the standouts for the Cougars this season has been their elusive back rower. There's Higgins crabbing crossfield, looking for space, and Shop attempted the intercept. Couldn't get a full grasp on the ball, and he's just knocked that down. If he'd caught that cleaner, he was away for all money. He had open grass in front of him all the way to the try line. So a nice little play there from Blake Higgins, trying to create something, a little bit of spark for the Corrimal Cougars.
Hold the fast side, guys. Wait for the out call.
Higgins to feed the scrum on his own 40-metre line. Horvath. Short ball.
Hold, go one.
As we see the dust flying up in the middle of Gibson Park. Not much grass left on the field. Garrido with the ball, fumbles it. Tagakakabau with the ball in hand. Wrapped up by Gallagher. Power at acting half. Doherty. Another one of those Cougars has been very, very strong in season 2018. Higgins dummies. Dummies again. Looks for Smith out the back. Smith grasps the ball. Corey Liam. He'll be upended by Ty McCarthy and put on his back. So a nice shift play there from the Cougars. Tonga Tonga steps off the left, tries to bust through the defence off Thirroul, still pumping the legs, brought down 10 metres out. Power with options left to right. He'll go left. Higgins. Horvath. Horvath dummies, goes himself. Doesn't fool anyone. The Butchers bring him to the ground, 8 metres out. Higgins steps off his left. Looking for space in between some players, but he can't find that space. Last tackle. Power out of acting half. Goes himself, looking for the try line. Flicks it out the back to Horvath. Horvath puts it on the boot, looking for his chasers. But Lee Higgins on the spot. 9 times out of 10 is Lee Higgins back there at fullback. And he'll take that ball and run it over the dead ball line. So good pressure applied there from the Corrimal Cougars at the Butchers' defensive line. And in these windy conditions, kicks will be at a premium today. There's a chance they could go anywhere. The wind just swirling around here at Gibson Park. Can't really tell if it's going in one direction or the other. The trees are just blowing everywhere.
Fine back.
So we see the dropout skimming along the grass of Gibson Park into Higgins' arms. Billy White will take the first carry of the set from the dropout. So he'll play the ball 25 metres out centre of the paddock. Corrimal attack to the right. One out run there from the Cougars. They're set to the left. Power will go himself, but will come up with a mistake there from Nathan Doherty, just getting up to play that ball a bit too eager there, coming up with a fumble. And referee Michael Chin has seen that mistake. So we'll see another scrum packed here at Gibson Park. Thirroul with the feed 10 metres out from their try line. So the Cougars throwing down a few questions to the Butchers' defence. They just can't seem to crack that defence as of yet. I'm sure there's plenty of points to be made in this game from the Cougars. We see Tommy Simpson bust through the line. He'll be brought down. Johnson acting half. He'll go the short side to Walsh. Walsh dummies, goes himself. He's got space. Has Johnson on the inside, but couldn't get that arm free. Shop in at acting half. He'll go for a scoot over the halfway line. Shop bumps off one. Can't get past the second or third defender. Brought to the ground. So Thirroul good metres early in this set. Whitty at the line, dummies, goes himself, bumps off one. Can't get that arm free. Brought down 25 metres out, centre of the paddock. Johnson sees one marker in front, goes himself. His opposite number drags him to the ground. Thirroul will go to the left through Walsh. Walsh inside to Ethan George. So Ethan George, try time for the young replacement forward. And the Butchers, in a great raid from in their own area, work their way down the paddock. And great play there from the Thirroul number 6. Jack Payne just going to the line and putting Ethan George underneath the sticks. That'll be a huge confident booster for the youngster. As we spoke about before they run onto the field, Coach Jared Costello opting to use a very young bench here at Gibson Park, giving some of his future first graders a real big taste at first grade football. And the Cougars in that also familiar role of behind the goalpost after points scored. And the Cougars, they look good with the ball when they're down in the Butchers' territory. They've had a couple of chances at the Butchers' line. They just can't seem to crack it. As we see Lukey Gallagher add the extras. So the score 10 points to 0. The Thirroul Butchers over the Corrimal Cougars. So Horvath to get us back underway. Again, still 24 minutes remaining in this first half. The local derby, Old Boys Day here at Gibson Park. So we see Horvath straight down to McCarthy again, hoping for another mistake, but this time Ty takes it cleanly. As McCarthy flirting with the sideline down there on the eastern side, shopping at acting half. The 17-year-old flicks it on to Johnson. Johnson dummies. The Butchers already up to the 40-metre line. So the Cougars backs to the wall early in this game. Ruskin lumbers up to the line. He'll play the ball over the halfway line. Johnson out of acting half onto Dodge. Dodge bumps off Power and comes up with a mistake. So the Butchers looked good in that attacking raid then, but a mistake. A good one-on-one tackle there from the Corrimal Cougars. Luke Dodge coming up with the error.
Go one.
Smith is absolutely crunched there by Jared Whitty. One of those players that plays week in, week out, well above his weight, Jared Whitty. Such a good tackling technique. Power to Higgins. Higgins to Horvath. Horvath steps off the left. He'll be brought down.
Go 4.
Power. Higgins. Billy White with the ball. Brought down on the last. Smack bang in the middle of the paddock.
Oh, go good.
Power to Higgins on the short side. Higgins onto that left boot. Along the ground, straight down to his brother, Lee Higgins. Brother on brother here today at Gibson Park. The Higgins boys, who's going to get the bragging rights at the 80-minute mark? So we see Lee Higgins brought down. Walsh in at acting half. Perkins trying to get past Garrido. Garrido's brought Perkins to the ground.
Wait, go 2.
With the help of Billy Robb. Joel Ruskin with another carry. So a big task for Joel Ruskin and Luke Shields today, with Aaron Beath missing. So Aaron Beath is missing from this Butchers side. Hope he's back next week for the clash at Helensburgh and fit to go for the final series. See a mistake there from the Butchers.
It is good.
Cougars, they'll get to feed the scrum.
Good.
35 metres out from their try line, centre of the paddock.
Boys, step back. Okay. 4.
So Higgins to feed the scrum.
Down.
Tucker Lau coming in off the wing for the first carry of the set from the scrum. Power at acting half. He'll go to the right to Billy White, who's been super busy for the Cougars in the opening 20 minutes of this half. Power to the left. Billy Robb. So Robb over into Thirroul territory, comes up with the spill. It's play on from the referee. No, he's had a call from the touch judge. So a strip in the tackle. That's the second from Thirroul where they've had the hands on the ball, causing the ball to come out, and the referee not shy to blow that whistle. There's Gordon off the bench. His first carry of the game. He'll be told to play the ball 30 metres out from the try line. Higgins. White steps off the right. Brought down. So another chance for the Cougars. Can this result in points? Gordon. He's hit from Gallagher. Gallagher brings him to the ground, 12 metres out. Stack to the short. They go that way. Horvath. Robb comes back infield. Brought down 10 metres out. The Cougars set to the right. Horvath. Short ball to Gordon. On the last. Options each right and left for Power. He'll go to Higgins. Higgins will put on that left boot. And it's cleaned up well there from Jack Payne. So again, another end of the set.
Come back and play it.
Another end to the set. The Cougars just haven't got that final bit of polish to cause Thirroul dramas. We'll see the Butchers play the ball a couple of metres out from their try line. Perkins, he'll be wrapped up 10 metres out centre of the paddock. Simpson in for a carry off his wing, looking for space behind the ruck. Smart thinking there from Tom Simpson. Seeing the markers not square and lazy, he decided to go that way. Earned the Butchers a penalty. And knowing Tommy Simpson, I'm not sure if it was smart thinking or just good luck from him. We'll go with smart thinking. As the kick for touch has not found touch. Oh, and it could have been disastrous there. The two Cougars players, no communication there while trying to take that kick to the sideline. And both players are up. They look okay. So that kick not finding touch there. Miscommunication there from the Cougars. And that was Taggy Takabau trying to take that, but he's come up with the error, so the Butchers will feed the scrum right on the halfway line here.
Hold there, 47. Pull in.
So Payne to feed the scrum. Perkins steps off the right. Robb and Gordon and Doherty brought him to the ground. Thirroul to the right. Gallagher. A little bit of a jink there at the line. Looking to bust the defence. He can't.
Hold.
Thirroul to the open. Whitty out the back to Payne. Payne to Higgins. Higgins dummies, goes himself, splits the defence. eventually brought down 10 metres out. Scoreboard side of the oval. Shop. Dodge. Dummies. Steps. Horvath wraps him up. This is where they're dangerous, the Butchers. Johnson. Whitty out the back to Walsh. Walsh to Payne. Payne with a long ball to Tom Simpson, and Simpson flicks it back infield. Bit of a Hail Mary throw, that one. It's come up in the arms of the Cougars, number 11, Billy Robb.
Alright, that's one.
So the Butchers couldn't put points on the board this occasion, down in the Cougars 10. And the Cougars, they'll bring it out. So a nice sliding defence there from the Corrimal Cougars, shutting down the attacking rate of the Butchers. And it was good work from their number 4 and number 5 there, sliding defence. As we see the Cougars attack that short side again. Smith's brought down. Garrido. Horvath. Higgins. Doherty. Last tackle. They'll be looking for a big kick here from Higgins. Higgins onto the left boot. Sings it down. And his brother takes that cleanly, Lee. So Lee with a head of steam up here, looking to split the defence. He's not going to get past Tonga.
Held, tree release. Wait. Go one.
McCarthy scooting out of acting half. Over into Corrimal's territory. Shop, he'll go for a scoot. Forcing his way, pumping those big legs, a 17-year-old. Good carry there from the number 4. He'll be brought down 20 metres out. Butchers set both sides. They'll go to the right. Walsh, dummies. Out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Perkins. Perkins flirting with the sideline. He's brought down. 10 metres out.
11 holds.
2 metres in from the sideline. Simpson. Walsh dummies. In ball to Higgins. And Lee Higgins is brought down. On the last. A metre out from the try line. Butchers all set to the left. Johnson, short ball to Ruskin. Wouldn't he love a try? Joel Ruskin trying to get that arm free. Flicks it out the back. Johnson spins. Dummies. He's trying to force his way over. And he's held up on the last tackle.
Tripped out over the line, which is fine, but Corrimal not doing that, tripping it out. So that would be a knock on.
So 6 again is the call from the referee. So the Butchers, 6 tackles, 10 metres out from the Corrimal Cougars try line. How much more defence can the Cougars do to hold out the Thirroul Butchers? Ruskin. Inches so close moments ago. Barging over. Can he swivel out of the tackle? Held up again.
No, it was held before he did it. Tackle one.
So Ruskin, oh so close for a second time in a matter of moments. He'll be told to go back and play the ball.
Yeah, just play the ball. Play the ball now.
So Ruskin plays the ball. Johnson at acting half. Brings Whitty underneath him. Whitty looking for that try line. Tries to bust through the defence. He can't. Millimetres away. Johnson. Short ball to George. He's looking for a double. So he's held up. So the Butchers, inches away from adding to the scoreboard. Another play the ball. Walsh, Payne. Payne out the back to Higgins. They've got numbers, the Butchers. Higgins onto the boot, looking for McCarthy or Shop, but the kick just too deep there. So Higgins' kick, just too much pepper on it. Or could it have been the chase of Ty McCarthy and Ty's ageing career, getting a bit older. Didn't have the legs he used to, T-Mac. So the Butchers, unlucky there to add points to the board. The Corrimal Cougars, a massive effort there to hold out the Butchers on numerous occasions. As we see the referee call time, it looks like Jack Payne in a little bit of bother. So we see Jack Payne holding his wrist, and wouldn't this be a blow to the Butchers? If it is something bad, he's been absolutely phenomenal for the Butchers this season.
We're waiting now till he's off.
close to one of the best players in the competition this season. He'd have to be up there on points for the Paul McGregor medal at season's end. Let's just hope for Jack and the Thirroul Butchers that it is nothing too serious. As we see Connor Mulheason onto the field, the 17-year-old, getting started in first grade today. So we see the Cougars bring it out from the scrum. Tokalau with the first carry. The other winger coming in, Taggy Kakabau. He'll play the ball. Corrimal raiding to the right side. So 10-0, 13 minutes remaining on the scoreboard. Again, Corrimal go to that right fringe. Smith to Liam, to Corey Liam. He's over the halfway line. He's told to play the ball. Back to the open. Tonga.
Last tackle.
On the last.
Come on, no early.
Higgins out the back. Goes to the sky.
13.
Chases all onside. Well taken by the Thirroul number 1, Lee Higgins, and he's into open space. Higgins. He'll be brought down on the 30-metre line. So McCarthy in at acting half, taking another scoot.
Told for 3. Move,
so Ty involving himself a lot more this week. So Thirroul attacking raid to the right. Perkins into open space. Can't get past Billy Robb. So Robb will bring down Perkins on the halfway line. Walsh at acting half, pleading for a penalty. Whitty got the 23 on his back. Whitty's been told to play the ball. Mulheason in at acting half. Walsh to the boot. Chasers are onside. Tom Simpson chasing. Jared Smith takes that cleanly. Simpson trying to, with a one-on-one strip. And is that a try? The touchy's flag is up. So great thinking there from Tom Simpson. But the defence just forcing Simpson over the sideline. And the corner post crashing to the ground there. So a nice kick there from Thirroul's number 7, Jake Walsh. And the kick chase from Tom Simpson, just as good. And smart thinking there from Simpson, one-on-one strip. Jared Smith wasn't expecting that. But desperation defence there from the Cougars, pushing Simpson over the sideline. So another scrum. Looks like this is one against the feed. As we see Higgins from the base, he's going to go himself, and he scored. Well, Lee Higgins. Try time for the Butchers. And a scrum, one against the feed. So both sides really not expecting that to happen. And a bit of old school action here at Gibson Park. A scrum, one against the feed. And Lee Higgins. Too smart there, Lee Higgins. Everyone else was in shock, but Lee Higgins played the whistle, went himself, forced his way over the try line. And he's probably not going to get many easier 4-pointers than that one. He'll extend the Butchers' lead, 14 points to 0, 10 minutes remaining in this first half. And if anyone's in the local area, bring a jumper down to me. It is absolutely freezing here at Gibson Park. The wind is up. And it doesn't look like stopping. So Lukey Gallagher, he will attempt to add the extras and extend the Thirroul Butchers lead. The Cougars back in there in goal line. Just thinking, what can they do to stop the Butchers' points from continuing? As we said, it's been a very tough season for the Cougars. As we see Gallagher attempt, trying to swing that back, and it's hit the upright. It looked like it was coming back. So the score will remain 14 points, 2-0, 9 minutes remaining. And the Cougars bringing that ball back to get us underway again. And I was only saying moments ago that it's been a tough season for the Cougars in 2018. It wasn't the ideal start when their first choice, number 7, in game 1 of the season, came up with a horrific injury. And yet, let's hope that young Maloney is back and fit for the Cougars in season 2019. So we see Horvath, he'll get us underway. The ball down to Ty McCarthy, so they're test and tie today. McCarthy will bring that back. He'll give it on to Ethan George. Sorry, that's Luke Dodge. So Dodge will play the ball. Mulheason in acting half. So Johnson, he switched to the number 7 role with Jack Payne coming to the field. There's Lackerstein. Mitch Lackerstein, Mr. Popular there weeks ago on Bar TV with that massive shot that he did put on. I don't think we've seen a bit of footage that's been so many times viewed and commented on of that shot of Mitch Lackerstein. As we see that kick not finding touch again, and again gone down to Tokalau, and he just couldn't catch that one cleanly, and the Thirroul Butchers supporters giving him an even more confidence boost over there, you could say. As we know, that Eastern Hill, renowned for being very, very vocal to visiting sides. And I suppose it was better to fumble that one there than 20 metres down the paddock. It would have been in front of the old boys bar. I'm sure he would have copped a little bit more stick, as they're over there peeling the scab off a few tins today after their big clash against the Cougars, old boys. They're keeping well hydrated. So we see Shop steps off his right, brought down from Billy Robb. So Billy Robb been super impressive in defence today for the Cougars. Gallagher forcing his way down the paddock. Couldn't get brought to the ground. Mulleson at acting half. Dummies to Lackerstein. Whitty. Johnson. Dodge. So that left-hand attacking raid again for Thirroul, earning them big metres. Johnson to the short side. Higgins to Shop. Shop, can he crash over? Yes, he can. So Aaron Shop, the 17-year-old superstar from the Thirroul Butchers. Can't he find a try line in season 2018 in first grade? So Aaron Shop crashes over down that left-hand side for the Butchers, extends the Butchers' lead out to 18 points, 2-0. And again, the Cougars huddled up in their in-goal line with the task in front of them more and more difficult.
Nicely warmed up for you in the second half, Katie. Nicely warmed up for you in the second half.
As we see Luke Gallagher putting that ball on the tee again. Trying to add the extras for the Butchers and the Cougars. A lot of thinking to do behind that line. As we see the clock down to the last 5 minutes of the game. So Gal, from his non-preferred side, steps into this one. More legs on this kick. It looks good, and it is. So Gallagher adds the extras, puts the finger up to the crowd that encouraged him to pot that one over. So Luke Gallagher, one of the stalwarts of the Thirroul Butchers, kicks his side another 2 points clear. The Butchers 20 points to 0. 5 minutes remaining. So James Horvath will get us back underway. So we see the wind causing havoc everywhere. It can't even keep the ball on the tee. So we see Horvath high and short this kick. Chases are on for the Cougars, trying to put pressure on the Butchers. That's Tonga putting Whitty to the ground. So a nice kick there from Horvath. Ethan George upended and put on his back. So that's stronger defence there from the Cougars. Lackerstein. Good carry there from the youngster. Nice 10-metre carry there.
Nice and easy in the tackle, mate.
Marleeson. Johnson brings Dodge underneath him. So Thirroul going up the centre of the paddock. Whitty.
Close 13.
He'll be brought down.
Right tackle! No.
So Marleeson acting half.
11's offside.
Walsh, high. Chases are on. This will be a tester for Smith. Lets it bounce. Taggy Kakabau.
Held now.
He'll come up with the ball. Smith. Higgins.
Move forward! Wait.
Smith, he'll play the ball on the eastern side. Taggy Kakabau with another carry of the set. So the Cougars looking to spark something before the halftime break. And Gordon absolutely thumped there by Connor Marleeson with the help of Luke Gallagher. So a lot of meaning in this defensive set from the Butchers. They'll want to finish the first half strong. The Cougars looking to put points on the board before the break. Last tackle, the Cougars camped in their own area. Horvath, he'll go to the sky. Chasers are all onside. Higgins with a tester. And takes that. He's safe as a bank. Back there is Higgins, and bang! He's bumped off there by Tonga. And the referee will call that one a shoulder charge. We've got a bit of feeling in this match here, a little bit of push and shove. So looks like referee Michael Chin just to call time off here. Looks like a few players will get a little bit of a chat.
All right.
We might try and listen in and see what the referee has to say.
Go. So just listen to what I'm going to say. The penalty is against the 12 for the shoulder charge, not the 6 to start with. Secondly, you just go and tell the 6 that if he speaks to me like that one more time, I'm going to have no option but to sit him down. Get him to be quiet. They've been good so far. No, the 12 did it. The 12 did it. The 12 didn't have the armour.
Just got a sense of it.
So the referee having a chat to both skippers there. So we listened in on that one. So I'm not sure if either team will take the risk of talking back to the referee for the remainder of the game. He set down the law. Next one to the bin. So wobbly touch finder there from Johnson. But Thirroul on the attack. Ethan George absolutely thrown over there. Shirts come off. So that looked like Corey Liam over there on that eastern side, throwing Ethan George to the ground. So we see young Ethan trying to put his shirt back on. Referees called time back on. Thirroul to the open. Walsh, Lackestein. Billy Rob's up quick on Lackestein. And Mulheason at acting half. He'll go the short side. Whitty bumps off Rob. Ball comes out the back. So a penalty blown here for a hand on the ball with the seconds ticking away in this first half. Thirroul, they'll be looking for one more try before the break. Can the Cougars hold them out? They'll go to that left-hand side. Johnson's pass has gone wayward. It's attempted to be picked up by Smith. Smith got the ball. And he'll be thrown over the sideline from Aaron Shop. So Aaron Shop absolutely ragdolling Jared Smith there over the sideline. As we hear the halftime siren sound here at Gibson Park in an entertaining first half of football, the Thirroul Butchers, they will go into the halftime break leading 20 points 2-0. The try scorers for the first half: Lee Higgins, Ty McCarthy, Ethan George and Aaron Shop. Luke Gallagher has kicked 2 goals. We'll be back moments ago with all the action in moments, with all the action here from Gibson Park between the Thirroul Butchers and the Corrimal Cougars. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. So welcome back to this live stream coverage of the round 13 match in the Illawarra Hardware Man League between the Thirroul Butchers and the Corrimal Cougars. We're about to get back underway for the second half of rugby league here at Gibson Park. The Corrimal Cougars running onto the field. All the kids playing league at half time at Gibson Park have been slowly marched off the paddock as we see the Thirroul Butchers running onto the field, led by their captain Joel Johnson. It's quite convincing in this first half of rugby league, the Thirroul Butchers posting 20 points on the Cougars. Cougars yet to trouble the scorer. They will be looking for a better performance in the second half than the first. As we see, the Butchers will get us back underway. The left boot of Luke Gallagher will start the second half as the Butchers just waiting on the kick and tee. As we see Mitchell McLean hobbling to the middle of the paddock. So Rivers having a big game in reserve grade today. Marching out the tee to Gal. And we're underway for the second half. The whistle has been blown. Straight down to Smith, and Billy White will take the first carry of the second half. And what a chase there from the kickoff from Lackestein and Whitty, crunching Billy White. Corrimal will go on the short side. And upended there again by Whitty. Was the Corrimal attacking raid there. As we see the Butchers really getting up and in the grill of this Corrimal Cougars outfit in defence. Gordon, he'll have a carry on the short side. Quick play the ball there. Power sees one marker in front of him, takes advantage of that. Again to the short side, but a wayward pass there from Higgins. End up in McCarthy's arms. So McCarthy, he'll be pushed into touch there. So McCarthy flirting with the sideline there. Pushed over onto the white chalk. So we'll see advantage was played there from McCarthy. Higgins will get to feed the scrum on his 20-metre line. I'm sure a few seasons back here, McCarthy would have been off and gone. Down that flank, we noticed the speed of Ty last week in that game against Collegians, trying to run down the intercept carry from Holdsworth, but he just couldn't run him down. So we see White front on hit there from Whitty with the help of Mulheason. So Jack Payne hasn't come back onto the field in the second half for the Butchers.
Good now. Good now.
Let's just hope for the Butchers it is nothing too serious to Jack Payne. We hope it's not a too serious injury, that Jack is only just out for today. And we see Aaron Shop take the intercept pass. Aaron Shop away and gone. He won't even get out of second gear. Puts the ball down at the northern end of Gibson Park. Just like the first half, the Butchers open the scoring early in the half of football. And that's a double today for Aaron Shop. So the Thirroul Butchers extend their lead 24 points, 2-0 in the first 2 minutes of this second half. So that man, the talented 17-year-old from Thirroul, coming up with a great intercept there. As we see Luke Gallagher, after that super conversion from the sideline in that first half, so this attempt a lot easier. But as I've spoken about throughout the day, this wind playing havoc here at Gibson Park. As we see Gal step into that one, bends it back and straight over the blue dot. So the extras added there from the Thirroul back rower, Luke Gallagher, extends the lead, 26 points, 2-0. 37 minutes remaining in this match, the round 13 clash. Next week is the last week of regular round football in the Illawarra League, as we see Horvath to get us back underway. Into the arms of Johnson. Johnson steps off the right, finds a gap, can't get past Gordon, can't get past Doherty. He'll be brought down. Mulleeson at acting half, but Johnson's been told to go back and play the ball on the spot. Mulleeson. Ethan George, strong carry. Having these youngsters stepped up for Jarrah Costello today, as we see a wayward pass come up into the arms of the Cougars number 9 in Ryan Power, as we see another one of those youngsters on the field for the Butchers. Benny Fulton getting his first taste of first grade. He was named in last week's side against Collegians, but didn't get a chance to get onto the paddock, and I'm sure he's eager to make his mark today. The Cougars over the halfway line. Higgins crabs crossfield, looking for runners, picks up Tonga Tonga. He's eventually put to the ground by his opposite number, Dodge. Power at acting half. Gordon. Dummies. Goes himself. He's brought down. Dust flying everywhere out there in the middle of Gibson Park. Corrimal to the left. Higgins out the back to Horvath. Horvath with a great short ball to Rob. Rob flicks that one back to Horvath. So a great attacking raid there from the Cougars on the last. They'll go the short side. Crabbing across, looking for the try line. Higgins ends up with the ball, spits it out the back. But the Cougars, they just come up with a mistake there from their number 13, Nathan Doherty. And it would have been good to see the Cougars cross the line there. It was probably their best attacking raid so far in the game. And just let down by a little bit of lack of concentration there from Doherty, resulting in a knock-on, a handover. So the Butchers standing up to the defensive task. Young Fulton will play the ball. Simpson in off his wing for a carry. He'll bring it out of acting half. Mulleeson at acting half to Perkins. Perkins steps off the left. Brought down by Billy White. Whitty steps off the left, looks for a gap. He's got the arm free. Trying to get that second phase play going, can't. Mulleeson short ball to Walsh. Walsh will go himself. Against the rule, pepper that right side. Johnson to the boot. Tries to split the back two. He can't. It's going to end up with Taggy Kakabau. He'll bring it across field. He'll be shut down. He'll be brought down on the 30-metre line. So the Cougars, ball in hand. Again go that short side. Strong carry there by Tokalau.
17 up and square.
Power. Again go the short. Tonga Tonga. Shops brought him down. He'll get the ball free. They've gone the short side. As we see in the background, as we see Aaron Shop down on the ground, as we see in back play, Jared Whitty and Tonga Tonga just wrestling with each other. So massive concern there for the 17-year-old down on the ground, Aaron Shop. While in back play, the scuffle continues. So the attention of the Thirroul trainers, Pete McIntyre and trainer Dan, looking concerned there for their young star Aaron Shop. As we see, referees, touch judges are all onto the field. And I'm not quite sure what this injury is to Aaron Shop. As we see, young Shop just getting lifted up there to sit up from the Thirroul trainers. So the concern on the Butchers, faithful there. As we see Aaron Shop getting helped up and carried off the field there. Looks like a right ankle. There he's hobbling off the field. So let's hope for young Shop that this is nothing too serious. He's had an absolute blinder again today. 2 tries for the youngster. As he's clapped from the field. As we see play 2 get back underway. Corrimal play the ball just over Thirroul's territory. Tonga.
17 away!
Another busy day for the Corrimal Cougars back rower. Power. Higgins. Short ball to Gordon. Gordon will be brought down on the white stripe, 40 metres out. Power again to the left. Horvath onto the boot, looking for his chasers to be onside. They are. Garrido with the chase. But Higgins couldn't come up cleanly with the ball, and it's been forced over the sideline. So Higgins just couldn't get the clean catch on that one. The kick chase was good. Garrido forcing the pressure onto Higgins. And the ball over the sideline. So the Cougars, they will get the feed the scrum 10 metres out from the Butchers try line. Massive opportunity here for the Cougars to put points on the board for the first time today. And the Butchers, they're down to 2 reserves. Jack Payne has not come back to the field, and Aaron Shop being carried off the ground moments ago.
Straight up. Stand up. Right, ball in.
Horvath to feed. The referee's just called that back. The Butchers, they'll be looking to win this against the feed again.
Right, ball in. Holding out.
Cougars wise to that. They've fed the ball, come up with it. Garrido, first carry off the scrum, centre of the paddock, 8 metres out. Power dummies, goes himself, looking to crash over. He's brought up short. Garrido at acting half. Higgins, Smith to Corey Liam. He was trying to work his way over to the try line. He can't. Inches from the sideline, inches from the try line, he's brought down. Smith, Higgins, Corrimal stacked to the left. The front row White with the ball in hand. He's brought down, middle of the paddock, 10 metres out. So gone backwards on that play, the Cougars. Horvath, double pumps. Doherty trying to bump his way through. He's eventually brought down on the last. So Power with a long pass to Horvath. Horvath puts it on the deck, chases her on. But great vision there from the youngster Mull Eason to mop that up at the back. Butchers, the task in front of them to get it out of their own area. Perkins with the first carry. Brought down on his 10 metre line. Walsh, she'll go to the short. Simpson gets past the first. Can't get past the second defender. So 2 tackles, 10 metres each run there from the Butchers. Again, they'll pepper the short. There's Fulton with his first carry of the game. Nice 10 metre carry there from young Fulton. Shields. The cry of the moose goes around Gibson Park. They all love the moose over on that eastern hill. To the sky, Walsh. Pressure on for the back 2 for the Cougars. Taken nice and cleanly there by Taggy Kakabau. The other winger, Tokalau, comes in for a carry.
17 up!
Billy Robb, one out there from the Cougars. So Blake Higgins demanding his troops where to stand. He'll crab for crossfield, looking for runners. He's brought down by Johnson. Power back to the open there to Billy White, who just strolls up to the defensive line of the Butchers on the last. Power to Horvath. Horvath puts it to the sky. It's Butchers let it bounce. Comes up with Johnson in the hands. Johnson dummies. Steps. Gets past the first defender. Shrugs under the second.
Move away!
So the Butchers, they'll start their set of 6 in Corrimal's territory. Shields. Nice carry there by the Thirroul number 8, Luke Shields. He'll be brought down 30 metres out, centre of the paddock. Thirroul to the right. Perkins back inside to Higgins. Higgins has got runners. McCarthy just couldn't come up with the ball. So Ty McCarthy there coming infield looking to get that ball from Lee Higgins. Couldn't get a grasp on that. And McCarthy, he would have been looking for try number 2 for the day. As we see the clock stopped here by the referees, we see one of the Cougars in back play, just seeking the attention from their trainer. Looks like Doherty. He's up on his feet, which is a good sign for the Cougars. We see a little bit of a pause in play and all trainers on the field supplying up a bit of H2O to both sides. And a little bit of a stop-started affair today. In between all that, it has been played at quite a frantic pace.
Alright, boy. Hold down.
So we see the Cougars feed the scrum, win the scrum. Takabow with the first carry of the set. Now it's Tokelau. They use their back three so well, the Cougars. Both wingers so eager to come in and help out every time they are cramped down in their own area. And their number 1, Jared Smith, really stepped up in season 2018. Been a fantastic player for the Cougars. As we see the Cougars into open space. There's Billy Robb, one-on-one with Higgins, but Higgins brings him to the ground and Jake Walsh chasing him. So the Cougars got the Butchers on the back foot. And they've been let off here. As we see Higgins in open space, 2 to beat. He can't. Jared Smith wraps him up. So the Cougars look oh so promising then, and a mistake they've come up with, and now the Butchers over the 40-metre line in their own territory through Ruskin. Mulheason to the short side, to Johnson. He'll go inside to Ethan George. Ethan George looking for try number 2, flicks the ball out, but it's come up in the hands of the Cougars. So probably a pass that he'd like to have over again, that. So we see end-to-end football there in both raids from the Cougars and the Butchers. Corey Liam with another carry. That left knee heavily strapped. Higgins at first receiver to White. So White's brought down by the 2 Thirroul front rowers, Ruskin and Shields. Higgins trying to kick his side out of trouble there. Looking for a 40-20, but it's just short there. It's pulled up just shy of the Thirroul Butchers 20-metre line. And it was a solid kick there from the left boot of Blake Higgins. And the Cougars, if they can put it all together like they did moments ago, down that left-hand side, they have got points in them. We've seen that throughout 2018. They've been super impressive in patches. They just need to play 80 minutes of football. And their last pass execution has really let them down on numerous occasions. We see Simpson marching his way down the paddock. Garrido finally bring him to the ground. Simpson wrestling with Garrido to get to his feet. Mulheason scoots out a dummy half. He's been impressive, the youngster, since coming to the field. Johnson, Shields pumping those big legs, taking 3 of the Cougars defenders with him. Eventually brought down. Through to the open. Johnson dummies. Brings Lackestein underneath him. Lackestein pops the ball out to Higgins. Higgins got Johnson outside of him. Numbers Thirroul to the left. Jocelyn wrestling. George, he's going back infield, looking for try number 2. He's nearly there. Can he put the arm out?
Short.
He's just brought down short. So the Butchers, numbers to the left. They'll go the other way. They've gone to the right. A wayward pass there. Walsh with the ball. Fulton underneath him. Fulton with a head of steam. He'll be brought down 10 metres out on the last tackle. Thirroul a set, both sides of the ruck. They'll go the short. Johnson to Dodge. Wouldn't he love a try? Dodge stretches out, slams it down. Luke Dodge scores for the Thirroul Butchers. So a well-deserved try to their tireless back rower. Their number 12, Luke Dodge. Slams it down into the turf at the northern end. The Butchers extend their lead. That takes it to 30 points today for the Butchers. 24 minutes still remaining in this first half. As we see Luke Gallagher not taking this conversion. He's sitting on the bench, and they've gone to Ty McCarthy to have a conversion. So this could go anywhere, viewers. If you are watching live, Ty McCarthy. I think this must be game 193 or 194 for Ty. So the old boys better be ready over there to catch this one. It could go anywhere. As we see Ty step into it. Hits it sweetly, but sprayed across the front of the uprights. So the conversion unsuccessful from Ty McCarthy. Score will remain 30 points, 2-0, 23 minutes remaining in this clash. The round 13 clash between the Butchers and the Cougars. We see Horvath again to get us back underway. A low driving kick towards the sideline from Horvath, and Simpson will field that on his own 10-metre line, close to the sideline. He'll crab back infield and eventually brought down on the 20-metre stripe. Shields gets that arm free to his front row partner Ruskin. Ruskin wrestled to the ground by Horvath. Quick play the ball. Walsh inside to Higgins. Higgins is wrapped up close to the halfway line, centre of the paddock. Mulheason at acting half. Shields, carry number 2 here from Shields. And a nice carry there from the front rower. He'll pick up an easy 10 metres. Thirroul will go back to the open. Ruskin looking to get that arm free and pop it out the back. He does. McCarthy steps, jinks, fends. Again, still going McCarthy, shrugging them off. So this is vintage Ty McCarthy. He'll eventually be brought down on the last tackle. Mulheason, short ball to Johnson. Johnson grubbers through, looking for his chasers. And well read there by the 15 for the Cougars, Jack Gordon. He'll play the ball inches from the try line. Jared Smith with the first carry of the set for the Cougars. Power at acting half, Doherty. He's been again busy for the Cougars. As we see the dust kicking up off the boots of every player out there. The weathered Gibson Park. It's the last game of first grade football we will witness here for 2018. Next week the Butchers, they'll go to Helensburgh and take on the Tigers. Then it'll be semi-finals football as we see a rebound still on the last. Smith, go to the air. Perkins is back. He'll field that well. Open space in front of him. He'll play the ball. Walsh to Fulton. Fulton's brought down. Nice carry there from the 5, Tom Simpson. Ruskin trying to get that arm free. Looking to pop the ball out the back, he can't. And a penalty from the man in the middle with the pink shirt, Michael Chin, awarding it to Thirroul. Horvath just getting tangled up and forcing the ball out from the carry from Ruskin. So the Butchers, 6 tackles, 20 metres out from the try line. Walsh out the back. Johnson out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Dodge. Dodge has got McCarthy outside of him. McCarthy comes inside. Try number 2, 4-time McCarthy. The referees kept the flag down. I'm sure this is a try. And it is. They've pointed to the spot there. So Ty McCarthy bags a double for the day, but what an attacking raid again from that left-hand side from the Thirroul Butchers, and it was well summed up there by the back rower Luke Dodge, drawing in the winger and just putting McCarthy in open space to give him his second for the day. The Butchers there extending the lead, 34 points, 2-0. And we'll see another change of kicker. McCarthy being relinquished from his duties. And the 7, Jake Walsh, will attempt to add the extras.
What a great
As we were saying moments ago, before that attacking raid from the Butchers, they'll travel to Helensburgh next week in the last regular season round. The Cougars, they will travel to Dapto Showground to take on the Dapto Canaries. And then it's semi-final football. So the Butchers, they'll be looking to win next week and secure that top 2 spot, as we see Walsh step into that one, puts it over the blue dot, and I'm sure the coaching staff were wondering why they let Ty kick the last one with a boot like that from Jake Walsh. So adds another 2 points to the tally. The Butchers 36, the Corrimal Cougars yet to trouble the scorer. 17 minutes remaining in this clash. Cold, windy day here at Gibson Park. Nevertheless, we've seen some great entertaining football. So we see Higgins with a low stabbing kick, fielded by Higgins, and Shields bends his back, coming back from the back fence, and takes the first carry of the set. Mulheason at acting half, he'll hit the short side. Perkins flicks it back into Fulton. And Fulton looking to march his way down the paddock, trying to get past Taggy Takabau, but he's eventually brought down. Mulheason to Shields with carry number 2, flicks it on to his front row partner Ruskin. So they've combined very well today, the 2 Thirroul front rowers, the 8 and the 10. Thirroul marching to the open side, brings Lackerstein Johnson underneath him. So Lackerstein, he'll be told to play the ball 30 metres out. Mulheason at acting half. Ruskin out the back to Walsh. Walsh out the back to Higgins. Higgins to Perkins. Perkins is one-on-one with the winger, but it's spilt over the sideline. So it was good covering defence there from Thomas Garrido to shut down that attacking raid and really put pressure on Daniel Perkins and force that ball over the sideline. So they've done it a few times impressively today, the Cougars. They're shifting defence. They've come up with some great defensive decisions to shut down some attacking raids that the Butchers have laid down. But the Butchers have just seemed to be too tough, too strong out here today at Gibson Park. As we see, we're into the final 15 minutes of this local derby clash. And the Cougars, they would love to put a few points on the board in this last 15 minutes. Coach Sean Maloney and his men will be looking to do that, and I'm sure Jarrett Costello will be looking for his side to shut the Cougars out for the remainder of this 15 minutes. Power at acting half. Horvath. So again, that left-hand side for the Cougars. going down that area of the paddock.
Stand up. Wait. Go 14 foot square. 3.
Mateer thrown over onto his back, but the referee has called a penalty. The Thirroul Butchers way too eager there, and I think they've come up with a bit of a high shot there on Mateer. Looked like it was more of a marker, not square.
35.
As you see, the touch finder, Garrido. He'll tap it, go himself. It was a strong carry there from the tap, Garrido. He'll be brought down 25 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Corrimal to the open. Horvath. Back inside to Rob, out to Horvath. To Higgins. There's Jack Duncan. Jack Gordon, sorry, he's been super impressive today. Coming off the bench for the Cougars. Higgins. There's Callum Corey. Eventually brought down 10 metres out, so a massive chance here for the Cougars. They'll go the short side. Higgins back inside to Horvath. Horvath to Power. Power shinks, looks to kick, goes himself. He's brought to the ground. He'll play the ball near smack on where they last played the ball, so no metres gained from that set. And there Horvath put it to the boot, looking for his chasers, and they're onside. It looks like Garrido has come up with the 4-pointer, and he has. So it was a nice kick there with the chasers all onside, and looked like Thomas Garrido over there to score for the Cougars. So Sean Maloney's men has taken to the last 13 minutes of the game to trouble the scorer. They've looked dangerous at times throughout this game. They have been deserving of points, and they finally put points on the board. And the Butchers huddled up in their in-goal line for the first time today. Not a sight that we have been familiar with today. As we see Higgins attempt to add the extras from the sideline. So Higgins with those bright orange boots. Getting so much encouragement over there from the supporters on the Eastern Hill as he steps in, low to the ground this one. And didn't have the legs, didn't have the height, and sprayed across the front of the uprights. So the score will remain 36 points to 4. The Butchers in front, 12 minutes remaining in this round 13 clash. This is the second last regular season game for season 2018. And we hope you have enjoyed the coverage, not only today but throughout 2018, that Bar TV Sports has brought to you through their live stream, week in, week out. As we see Walsh get us underway with a big swirling kick, and it's fielded by Horvath. Horvath will go himself. He'll bring that over his own 20-metre line. Eventually brought to the ground from Mulheason and George. Cougars to the right. Doherty brings underneath him Callum Corey.
23.
Power at acting half. They'll go to left to Higgins. Higgins to Horvath. Horvath back inside to Garrido, the try scorer. Looking for try number 2. Bust through the first defensive effort. Can't get past the second. It wrapped up from Fulton and Ruskin.
On his face, don't need it.
And Joel Ruskin giving away a very silly penalty there, leading with the elbow onto Garrido. So the Cougars, they've got the wind in the sail here. 10 minutes remaining. Is there more points on offer here for the Cougars? They're going to ask the questions to the Butchers' defence. As we see Taggy Tacky Bow.
10 straight up. Wait. Hold.
He'll play the ball. 25 metres out. Corrimal will go to the open. Corey backs into the Butchers' defence, looking to get that arm free and get a bit of second phase play happening. He can't. Power to Higgins. Higgins a short ball to Gordon. The big body of Gordon gets that arm free. Higgins mops up the scraps at the back. Dummies, goes himself. Old school goose step. Finds Rob. Rob trying to split the defence, but he can't. He's brought down by Fulton. Power to the short. Horvath to the boot again. Garrido's chasing. He can't find try number 2. And Lee Higgins kicking it over the dead ball line. So Horvath looking for that play that got the Cougars there. Try only minutes ago in similar position. But the number 1, Lee Higgins, on the spot there to kick it over the dead ball line. As we see Walsh just taking his time to drop it back out to the Cougars. Whistle blown and Walsh high and long this kick over the 40-metre line, down the throw to Horvath. There's the first up carry from the Cougars, number 20. Monstered in the fence there from the blue and white jumpers. Power to Smith. Smith to Corey. Corey looking to get the arm free. He does. Power. Steps. He's in open space. He's got that arm free, but it's ended up in the bread basket of Daniel Perkins. So a good little display there of second phase play from the Cougars, but that last pass just going astray, and Daniel Perkins coming up with the ball in his hand. So we see Dodge in at dummy half, takes a scoot. He'll be brought down. Looked like a little bit of a fumble there from Dodge, and it is. The referee and the touchies have picked that up. So as we see the minutes slowly count down on the scoreboard, we're seeing a little bit of tiredness come into both sides. The Butchers, they'll be looking to go over to the Ryan's Hotel, celebrate a win. And the old boys, they'll be looking to kick on with the current team. And the Cougars, they'll be looking to next week for their last game of the season. Winless in 2018, the Cougars, and wouldn't they love to finish with a victory next week? As we see Garrido, first carry from the scum, brought down. Power to Horvath. Horvath to Callum Corey. Corey's brought down 30 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Chance here for the Cougars. Long pass from Horvath. It's gone wayward. Finally ends up with Taggy Kakabau. He'll come back infield. He'll be brought down. Fulton tackles him. One-on-one tackle. Power to Horvath. Horvath to Higgins. Higgins got Smith out the back. He finds him. Into open space. No, he's brought down from Lackestein. Gordon on the last, brought down 6 metres out from the Butchers' try line. Can the Cougars get another one? Horvath with a cross kick, looking for his outside backs. They've come up with the ball, but it's ended up with Jake Walsh, and he's in open space. Walsh looking for some support runners. Finds Mulheason.
That'll be one there.
Mulheason will be brought down. Centre of the paddock. Simpson sees one marker in front of him, goes himself.
20 stands.
Thirroul back to the open. Shields over the halfway line. Brought down, centre of the paddock. 45 metres out from the try line. The Butchers to the left. Johnson with a face ball to Lackestein. Lackestein steps at the line, trying to get that arm free, but he's brought down. Johnson back to the open. Whitty gets past the first defensive effort of Horvath. Can't get past the second defence from the Cougars, and Horvath coming in for a second attempt. Mulheason to the short. Johnson, long ball to Dodge. Dodge bumps off one. And the touch judge has just come up with a call of a forward pass in that attacking raid on the left-hand side from the Butchers. So the Cougars, they'll play the ball 20 metres out, 10 metres in from their own try line. We're down to the final 5 minutes of this clash.
Held there. Up now. Hold. Go wide.
Corrimal back to the open. Doherty. 1 out football here from the Cougars.
Let him up.
We see Doherty brought down centre of the paddock, slow to his feet. Callum Corey. Been busy since coming onto the field, Callum Corey. The Cougars' replacement front rower. Higgins chips, sees that his brother's deep, chases it, tries to put pressure on him, but no. Lee Higgins comes up with the goods into open space, and his opposite number brings him to the ground, Jared Smith. One arm pick up there from Johnson. Out of dummy half onto Shields, and Shields bumping his way down the paddock. He's just a crowd favourite here at Gibson Park, Luke Shields. Every time he gets the ball, the crowd goes up. Inside ball from Walsh to Johnson. And what a combination, not only today, but in season 2018, we have seen between the number 9 and the number 7. Try time for the Butchers again. They'll put 40 on the Cougars. And the captain, their skipper, Joel Johnson, scores a try for the Butchers.
Number 9, Joel Johnson.
A great and a well-deserved try there from Joel Johnson. The best number 9 in the business, Joel Johnson, and with the absence of Jack Payne not coming back to the field in the second half, Johnson gone in that half-back role. Doesn't look out of place anywhere on the field, but what a combination that Joel Johnson, Jake Walsh and Jack Payne have got this season for the Thirroul Butchers. I said it a couple of weeks ago that their 6 and 7 are the best combination in this Illawarra League. I know there are some crack hot 6s and 7s in this competition, but they've really stepped up season 2018 for Jared Costello and the Thirroul Butchers. As we see Walsh add the extras and extend the lead, 42 points to 4. And the Cougars coming back to that also familiar position of getting us back underway. As we see Higgins get us back underway off that left boot. A low kick going along the ground. Fielded by Lee Higgins, and Thirroul on another attacking a raid with Ethan George.
15 away.
Brought down. He's crunched in the defence from the Cougars. We see Whitty. Great front-on shot there from Billy White. And a penalty blown to the Butchers. Here we see a little bit of a scuffle happening. A lot of feeling still in this game as we're into the final minute. And Walsh will find touch. So this could be the last play for the Butchers, and it's straight to the old boys bar. And they've let that one sail over their heads over there. Fulton. So we're down the last 30 seconds of the game. Have the Butchers got points in them to finish off with a try, or can the Cougars hold them out? There's Shields. Butchers to the right. Whitty. So Whitty been brought down. 10 seconds remaining in this clash. Johnson to the short side. Fulton. Wouldn't he love a try on debut? He's brought down.
Right away.
Inches from the try line. Last play. As we hear the full-time siren blow here at Gibson Park. A great game of football that we have witnessed here. If you paid your $7 at the gate, you've seen a great game of football. To everyone here at Bar TV Sports, thank you for tuning in yet again for another week of live stream football. A great win for all the Thirroul Butchers supporters. The try scorers for today: Lee Higgins, Ty McCarthy got 2, Aaron Shop got 2, Joel Johnson, Luke Dodge and Ethan George, and the lone try scorer for the Corrimal Cougars, Thomas Garrido. 42 points to 4, the Thirroul Butchers victorious here at Gibson Park, undefeated in 2018 at their home ground. They will go to Helensburgh next week and look to finals football the week after that. The Cougars, they will go down to Dapto Showground and take on the Dapto Canaries. This is Johnny Pett signing off for another week here in the Illawarra Rugby League competition. We will see you next week somewhere in the Illawarra League, courtesy of Bar TV Sports.